What's up, everybody? We back with another episode of Cree Education. I'm your host, Steph Weezy.
You know I'm your boy, Day.
And I'm back. It's your boy, El Plaga. That's what they call me anyway.
We getting into it. We talking about bad deals today. How do you know when you're in a bad deal? You know, and this goes in different directions too. Not just a bad deal, you know, bad relationships, anything. When do you know when it's bad? Like, you know, how do you identify it? How do you recognize? How do you know when you're in a bad deal? You know? Yeah, that's what we're talking about, man. So let's jump into that, man. I'm going to go with you, El Plaga.
Well, you know, I definitely have had situations in my life that aren't always pleasant. And, you know, there was one time I did an investment firm and it went real bad. It went to a whole full type Ponzi almost type thing. And
it went Michael Jackson bad then, huh?
Yeah, man. Damn. Like Thriller, like the whole face was messed up. Like, dun-dun-dun. I really wanted to try. And the part about that deal was you don't always realize how bad it is because you're just trying to make things work. Even, you know, talking to our engineer, Mike, today, you know, just before we started, it's like a bad relationship. You know, you kind of see the good qualities and you're just trying to figure out how to keep it together.
Yeah.
But you don't really know what's wrong or how to make it right.
Yeah.
I mean, what have y'all been through? Y'all been through similar situations like that?
All the time. Like, what is it called? The potential. I see the potential in a person and I'm riding this wave out.
And it makes you oversee the things that you should have saw.
Right. It's right in front of my face. And I'm like, man, if you could just work on this, we could be so much better. But then it gets to a point where that situation is affecting me at this point. So it got to a point where it started, you know what I'm saying? There was a great saying, a fool will change you before you change them or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a nice one.
Before you change a fool, they'll change you. That's it right there.
That's crazy though.
And that stuck with me.
Like
it's like, man, you know, before you could, so while you're focusing on them, that's going to change you. And
but it's hard because it's hard because to piggyback off of that, you only really know how you feel about a situation. You know what I mean? So a lot of it's based off of emotion, and if I really rock with you, then I'm gonna oversee a lot of things that was probably red flags or hiccups that should have happened. But because I fuck with you, you my nigga, so he wouldn't do that to me, or
right.
That's the initial thought until it's like 3 or 4 fuck ups, and then you're like, all right, maybe I need to start checking this. But it's like if it was someone else, you would have knocked that shit off first one.
You hit the nail on the head. A person will always show you better than they can tell you who they are. They will show you, and a lot of times we get caught up ignoring the signs.
That's deep.
That were always there.
Yep. Never ignore them signs.
The signs, and I tell, even when I teach people entrepreneurship and business, I tell them, look at the little things. And when you first get into a deal, here's breadcrumb number one. And when you first get into a deal and you're executing this thing, you might have had your paperwork tight, you might have had everything together. Whatever there was written, if they're not honoring that from jump, or if they're just deviating from it slightly, if you said we're going to have a meeting at this time every single month or every single week, and they just slightly deviate off of it 10, 15 minutes, or they want to rearrange a day, those are the little things that tell you that they're not really ready to adhere to a protocol or to a regiment. Right? Because you set these little things.
Yeah.
And then the number 2 thing is, before I let y'all, I want to hear from y'all mainly today, because I know you guys have been through this too. Don't break your own fucking rules.
Because we all got them.
We all got them. We all have deal breakers, right? And this isn't just about business. This could be a relationship. This could be whatever. But you got rules that you set up. And when you break your own rules, that's when you're opening a gaping wide door to get fucked.
Open a little crack.
Man, that reminds me of a conversation I had with a tall guy yesterday, last night, and he was just telling me some things like how he had to cut off even some of his family members. You know what I mean? Not because he's like, they changed on me because they thought the fame changed me. So they're the ones that changed. So I really had to like rearrange myself from how I dealt with them, blood or not. You know what I mean? Because some things aren't up for grabs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're laying a foundation and trying to build a future, and the things that are outside aren't supporting those things, and you kind of got to let them go, however close they're, or blood or whatever they are. You know what I mean? And those are the hard decisions that we have to make, as opposed to someone you don't fuck with. I really ain't fuck with. I thought he was cool, but he ain't really that cool, so I don't fuck with him anyway. So it ain't gonna really affect you. But if it's someone close to you, that's when it hurts the most, you know. And that's when you see give them so many passes. You know what I'm saying? Just because
truth,
they're so close to you, and you just give them the passes if they wouldn't do that to you. But you know, like people say, those are the ones that typically do it to you because they get the chance to.
Because it's them. Yeah. You be like, damn, grandma.
Dang.
Did you have to do me like that?
Right.
You know? Right.
And and you said, like you said, the rules, man. As long as you have them rules and like the principles stay the same. And I was listening to I like to listen to a lot of these sermons and just everything, like anything that I believe helps me grow as a person. And something stuck with me. He was talking about principles stay the same. And once you stick to the principles, it's like the laws. Like, you know, the guy was saying, he's like, you could pray every single day. You can speak in tongues. You can pray to the Lord. You can be the most holiest person. But if you go against the laws, if you jump off a bridge, gravity, that's a law. You know, you're gonna die. You're gonna die if you jump off a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, it's just a part of it. And it's like, as long as you stick into the principles and you're within yourself, and you're not going against those, like, because then you're allowing it. You know, it's like, this ain't what I believe in.
Come on.
If I'm with a person, I'm doing something, and she breaks what I believe in, and you know, you cheated on me. This is something that I honor myself enough to move on, but I allowed you. So after you cheat on me, now I'm sticking with you. Now I'm going against my principles, and it's leaving more room for me to, you know, create more scenarios. Now I seen it. It'll break you down. But if you just cut it right there, like, you know what I'm saying, like that. You broke my principles. I got to move on. So it's gonna hurt whenever, but this ain't what I want in my life. This ain't how I'm rocking.
But you know, a lot of people try to do what they can to diffuse that pain or prolong it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to feel it right now. You know what I mean? That's kind of a major key that I've addressed in my own life, is like, nigga, ain't no reason to hold off to next week. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You might as well have that shit happen today. So by next week, you might be feeling better. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just kind of changed my perspectives on that, just because I feel like, and on top of that, one more thing, when you go into a situation, relationship, a business relationship, whatever, with someone and be 100% pure, bro, you never got to worry about shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I tell you, yeah, man, I don't like niggas that wear black shirts, man, and this, that, and the third, the first day I met you, and then you start wearing black shirts, I'm like, okay, this nigga don't, you don't respect my, you know, or whatever. But that's something you could see. But I was up forward with you, straightforward, and instead of having an attitude with you every time I see you in a black shirt.
You already know how I feel about black shirts.
You already know.
So don't be, you know, week down the line and you see me acting different.
And that's the same thing with the principles.
I feel about black shirts.
It's the same thing with the principles. You know, you go against your principles once you lay them out there on the table and say, this is what I'm about. I'm about family. I'm about my business. I'm about money. I'm about, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you're about, you lay that shit out on the table straightforward, bro. Nigga can't never worry about twisting it, you know?
Yeah, and what you said was important, like just, you know, like addressing stuff, because I like to hold on, and I'm like a person that always sees the good in people, and I drag stuff off like too long. And it's like, nah, don't ignore the signs. They're showing you exactly who they are. Why are you trying to change this person?
Come on now.
You know, and after a certain time, it's very hard to break these habits and these traits that you have about yourself, unless you're really dedicated. And actually, if you can identify, a lot of people don't identify their bullshit. So it's very hard to even get through to them, because they don't even know when they're wrong, or they believe in their mind that they're right.
But in retrospect, bro, even the things that people allow, become habits. You know, you become a habitual liar. You become an habitual person to be lied to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you still have to take the initiative of that person, that I continue to allow you to lie to me. You know what I'm saying?
Business. Yeah.
See, another little bread drop, another little breadcrumb is that what you guys just touched on is an amazing phenomenon that does occur. And that phenomenon is that when someone is laying down the foundations or the rules, and then you do have a disagreement or you have a difference of opinion, when one of those parties is avoiding a direct conversation about the infraction, that's how you know
you got to see something.
You're in Playland. You're in Playville.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to continue to avoid it, they're not interested or valuing you on any level to respect you to solve the problem and make it better.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh, that's important.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's just it's a little thing that you have to look for. Most people probably go through their life and they don't really examine their relationships. But how many times have you had actual direct dialogue, eye to eye, person to person, trying to solve a problem
that you don't agree on?
That you don't agree on.
Because that's I feel like shows the most amount of character.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Builds you.
If I don't agree with you, we say, you my nigga. We've been niggas 10 years, 20 years. Nigga, you like that? I don't like that. Nigga, it is what it is. Or if it's something like, nigga, no, fuck you. It is fuck me. Then we never had nothing that was worth having.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's important because communication is key. I'll even share, if you don't mind me, Day-Day, I'll share an example with us. Right. We were looking at not a specific little business scenario. And you had one understanding about it. And I had a different one. Now we could have easily let that become something. And this is what niggas do out here sometimes. They let shit become something it's not. Mm-hmm. But instead, you hit me and said, bro, what's going on? And I said, I don't know what's going on. Well, whatever it is, you feeling something, we need to talk about that.
For sure.
When you want to meet, you want to meet at Chipotle, you want to get something to eat, and that ain't a plug for Chipotle, but you know what I'm saying. You want to get some. Hey, if y'all want to plug us, we right here.
Mm-hmm. Right, come on,
come get Career Education.
We enjoyed it.
We'll put a little spot out for you, but we could have met anywhere and hashed that out, and we did.
But we didn't avoid it either.
No, we didn't even let it grow.
Right.
As soon as you felt a way, you let me know is something going on, and I'm like, I don't know. Let's find that out. And we addressed it and realized, hopefully, obviously we did because we gotten over it. I don't even remember what it was truly about to begin with. But I remember when it was like that little pocket of uncomfortability from a mentor to a mentee or a business collaborator with another business collaborator. No, when it gets uncomfortable, that's when you go all in.
Yeah.
Both feet in the pool.
Yeah, so you got to figure it out. I got to figure out if that water cold.
And that's
exactly
that's important too. Just to, because a lot of that affects a business in a lot of ways. Just avoiding things. A lot of people don't like to talk.
The tension,
uncomfortable things that you can talk about. Like, hey man, I brought you this dude, and I just feel like I should get commission off it. And maybe that's not, you're not even thinking about that at all. And that can draw attention on my side. Like, hey, but this is why you met him, and y'all closed the whole $10 million deal, whatever the case may be. But 100%. It's just a simple communication. And if you understand, and like you said, communication, as long as y'all get to like, oh, I understand, I see what, I'll cut you in or whatever.
And there's two sides to every perspective. Because what you just said about that commission thing, maybe the other side is, oh, the deal hasn't even been developed far enough down the way. We aren't even talking about that yet. But now that I know, here's where it's gonna go.
Communication.
Let's figure it out. Let's rock it out. What do you think? If we go down this path and we get $5, man, you got $1.25.
Right.
If we get $5 million, man, you got $1.25. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm agreeing like, yep.
You know I would have got you. but
sign it right here on the dotted line.
Yeah, go ahead and sign that deal real quick.
What is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, $1.20. Wait, huh? But it's important that we address things directly and that we get to a place of understanding for both parties. And you may still disagree in the affect of whatever it was that was discussed, but at least you have a better principle or respect for that individual that you can communicate and dialogue it out. And the respect is what's really truly about making a solid type of relationship, whether it's business, whatever it is, personal.
Communication in relationships, it's the same thing.
Valuable.
It's the same thing as simple as, whether you're into an open relationship or you want to have a different level of food. You know what I mean? Maybe your girl cooks fried rice and you like, I like white rice. I just keep eating this shit just because you keep making it. And I don't want to make you feel some kind of way, but you like, I really don't like this shit. I like white rice. You know what I mean? And then she's like, well, all you had to do was say something.
And this whole time.
This whole time
is very simple.
Now you 3 months in, you like...
you go off and snap one day. I told you I don't like to get my bitch.
You do snap.
Like,
sure.
like you could have talked.
I love what you just said.
For sure.
Bringing me the white ways. I'm like, man, you could have told me about that. I see it happen all the time with roommates, like in college.
Yeah.
College, like one of my college roommates, something that kept bothering. I'm like, I'm missing the chocolate milk, man. And then I finally addressed him. Dude's big. He was one of the shot put dudes too.
Okay.
I finally addressed him like, hey man, can you stop eating my, it ain't something I wanted to do, but we resolved it, and he
was like, "What the fuck you mean?" No, I'm just kidding.
All respect. He's a big dude, but he respected where I was.
He was humble. Yeah, you were lucky in that one.
I got lucky because it could have,
you could have got stomped out in the prison cell.
You would have had to soft side that nigga quick,
bro. Man.
You was in Utah, nigga. Man, had to go back on the soft side of Minneapolis on that nigga.
You know what they say in prison? You're gonna touch every last one of these 4 walls before we figure this out.
And it was one of the things that just kept bothering. It was a little thing that just kept on bothering me, and it was growing on me to a point where every time I seen him, you give me a bad feeling. So I was like, man, let me just address this.
But you see what happened to you?
He stopped it. He's like, yeah, it's fine,
And that's beautiful. But what if you just had the fortitude to address it earlier before it became a thing? Like, hey, I'm noticing that my chocolate milk is going down a little bit, man. Oh yeah. Well, I ain't tripping, but make sure whatever you take, replace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. Eating, man. It's just food, but man, replace it because I come in and I want some of that chocolate milk too.
Right.
We still talking about food?
Could have came back early and even prevented all that.
Right.
From me even getting stressed every time I see him, because I let it go by for a while because I was putting it in my head how I was gonna work him out. I'm like, all right, if you say this, going through scenarios like, all right, I'm gonna hit him like this, just all these different type scenarios. But it was building up on me to a point where I started seeing him and getting mad, and then every time someone was missing, I'm just getting more mad.
And luckily, you ain't have to say nothing to him like that, just because.
I came very humble. Let me. I came very humble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he'll shot put you.
You got to know who you talking to now.
I'm a street dude, but I think stuff through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's gonna shot put your ass.
Tripping. He want me to ask for my milk back. I wouldn't trip. The Nestle. I've been asking you about. I know you wanted it back. For real.
I love it. And that brings another gem out. Procrastination equals chaos.
Absolutely.
I've been saying that for years to everybody. The longer you put something off, it's going to end up being a way bigger problem than what it was if you would have just dealt with it in the first place. Yeah. And a lot of times when you start dealing with a problem early on, you realize, oh shit, this wasn't even a problem.
Right. Get it out the way.
Yeah.
I was one of them kids that put all the tickets and everything, and it's like, now I want to get my stuff together. I'm like, dude, you could have prevented all of these driving after revocations, and that comes with a lot of brothers. Like, I see it. They put stuff back and back. It's like, no, deal with it, man. So you don't have to worry about these, you know what I'm saying, being suspended for a whole 2 years and tickets on top of tickets. Now you're facing jail time when it's things you could have prevented if you just went and took care of that one ticket.
Right.
They
2 tickets, knock them out. Get that time. Yeah.
He's driving dirty.
Procrastination, man, equals chaos. Man, that's so deep.
Yeah, that's true.
That hit
that's
me.
A fact. That's a whole fact.
And it also it goes back to something we alluded to earlier. When people tell you who they are, listen to them. Listen to them, because people are going to show you better than they can tell you, right? So when they start to do things that are out of character, or at least out of play of what you guys talked about, listen to those variables. Don't run from it.
Right.
Because when you run from it, you're actually running from yourself. And that procrastination equal chaos theory is going to run you like Murphy's Law all day. Because whatever can go wrong will go wrong. Those are for those out there who don't know what Murphy's Law is. I just said it. There you go.
Go look it up.
Go check it out. Yeah. And it's imperative, we're having this discussion as brothers because I think a lot of things go wrong in our community because adding all those variables about not communicating properly with trauma.
Because, man, you say the wrong thing. You can say the right thing to me the wrong way, nigga, and we got a problem.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the issue.
That's a lot of it. It's just, what is it? The tone, or your posture.
You talking so loud.
Right.
Yeah.
You see a clash from. I don't mean to just cut you off. There's people in different cities I see all the time, and their lingo is the same. Like someone will call you like bitch, or like, for example, New York people be like, suck my dick, but they're not
coming at you.
They're not coming at you. That's their norm and phrase.
Right.
But when you meet a Midwest person and you say that, you're like, what you say to me?
Right.
Like, what? And I know this is like, a lot of people gonna understand it's different. Like down south, people like to yell. Like the Southern boys that I know, they'll yell like, shut up, like it. But it's not, they're not coming at you.
It's just their personality. They're
so
boisterous.
When they get punched in the mouth, they're like, why you do that? Like, nah, you yelled at me. I felt very offended. You don't talk, that ain't our Midwest lingo.
Come on now.
So you
Because there's some places where you say suck my dick and they'd be like, what time
right,
there?
exactly.
Right.
And you're like, so you can't just be saying anything anywhere.
You gotta understand. Yeah.
You gotta know the lingo where you're at.
And different people all over the world, everybody comes from a different background.
That's respecting the culture. Right? And culture not being black, white, culture being Midwest, down south,
where
black,
you from?
white, blue, green, it don't matter.
Culture's where you're from.
Europe, all that shit. I had to act completely different when I was overseas. You know what I'm saying?
In doing business, I'm going to bring this back to my street side. I know a lot of y'all know I hustled, and, being late was the norm. And I know this is like, transitioning to the business side on a professional level, that's not good. I'm telling, hey, bro, I'm pulling up right now. That means you putting on your shoes in the hood. I'm pulling up. You waiting, you're going to be waiting a smooth 30 minutes.
20, 30
minutes, but, when it comes to business side, you tell somebody, people have to be places at time. So you pull up 20, 30 minutes, they take that as a disrespect. Like, you're not respecting me.
You're not serious about business.
You're not serious about business.
Truth.
And that's important when it comes to,
And communication.
Yeah.
Because I know you was talking about, whatever the hustle was allegedly. Because we not.
Yeah, the statute of limitations, that was about 20 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about right now. It's allegedly, that's what happened.
Yeah.
But there are rules to everything. And we just said it a second ago, when you start to lean off of those rules, I look back now, every single time I've been played, I broke one of my own rules. Every single time that I've been played, I have not one time that things didn't go right. And I'm like, wow, I broke that rule, and that rule because I was trying to be compassionate, or I was trying to be, not such a hard ass.
I mean, it's different if you don't see it coming and you're blindsided by a move someone makes sporadically. Now it's different how do you respond to that as opposed to you breaking a rule you've seen coming.
But you know what? If you're following your rules, you wouldn't have to worry about what's coming. Think about it. It's a rule for a reason.
You can't predict anyone's moves.
You can't predict no one's rules, but if you're following a rule, that move couldn't be made if you followed your rule. Because if they get close enough to break you, you broke a boundary. It's just like, letting the ball go out of bounds.
There's some good people out here, man, that can,
Oh, there's some finaglers.
Super.
There's some absolute, true, downright dogs.
For sure.
But what happens is, a dog is going to let you know they're a dog before they get to you to bite you.
Yep.
They're going to wag their tail. They're going to bark. They're going to sniff. They're going to lick. They're going to whimper, whatever they do, right? They're letting you know they're a dog. So if you got a sign that says beware of dog, and then somebody still walks in, that's on them.
Absolutely.
Right.
What does it say? Fool me once.
Shame on you.
Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that beware of dog sign, nigga, I told you there was a dog in there.
Right.
But you walked in anyway.
What my nigga J. Cole say? Fool me 3 times, fuck the peace sign.
Yeah.
Load the chopper in the shame right here.
And see, that's crazy. And see, what I'm saying is, I love our culture.
None of that.
And I love
We don't promote that.
None of that.
But hey.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, we take some of that literal. Some of these people be smoking on what they smoking and sipping on what they sipping, and then they let their emotions get involved.
Yeah.
Which brings me to another latest gem is there are no emotions in business. So if you want to kick it and you want to have friendship, you need to both, or all of you, whoever's involved, need to know when to take off the business hat and put on the party hat. And celebrate or whatever you're going to do. But as soon as you're done celebrating and you go back to business, everybody has to look at each other in the eye and say, okay, we putting on the business hat now, and don't get emotional.
Yeah.
Because as soon as those emotions start playing, that's when people start to misconstrue. Well, I thought we was cool, so I took an extra 50,000 out the pot because I thought I could just hit you back.
This is business, man.
No, that's breaking a rule.
Yep.
And now you're trying to leverage a friendship to do something with the business. See, it gets real murky and muddy. And when it gets murky and muddy, somebody gets stomped on.
Facts.
And that and you don't want it to go there. And this world is much smaller than people think it is. What comes around goes around.
Mm-hmm.
And around again if you want to keep playing that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Shit, bro.
That's
I mean,
I don't know how to follow up on that. That was some good stuff right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, literally, bro. But I mean, it's the truth will set you free, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People think that's just a catchphrase, but it actually makes you feel a different kind of way. It makes them chakras be aligned. It makes you feel something inside of you that's like, it's hard to describe because it's like such a, when that black cloud leaves you, you can feel that. Nobody knows that but you, because you felt that black cloud and you feel the sun hitting you. You like, damn, it feels nice out here.
Let's go there for a second. Haven't you guys always had a gut feeling or an intuition or something that warns you that something's not working?
Yep.
Now, I don't preface any religions or anything like that, but listen, we all come from this energy in this universe, and it is well balanced. There's a gut sacral chakra in you for a reason. When you get that feeling in your gut, or you get that shiver in your spine, or you get those chills or those bumps or whatever people like to say they feel, some get a tingle in their head.
Goosebumps, not the mother bumps.
Oh, I don't know nothing about them bumps. I don't know what the hell you talking about. I'm talking about chakras.
You gotta clarify.
But when you get that feeling, you can't ignore it and walk away from it. There's been so many times my wife has told me, I don't feel this, because women, and shout out to all the lovely ladies out there. When y'all say something's going down, usually something's going down.
Y'all can feel it for real.
Because they're in tune. Remember, they bring life to the earth and through a vessel. So we have to be respectful that if they can tune into all that energy, with like, what you giggling about?
No, just my mind went somewhere.
That boy visualized real
2
quick.
in the morning. What you about to do? Babe?
I'm about to bring life from your vessel. Sorry.
Women ain't bad. They got it.
Come on, man. You're messing with me being eloquent right now. So when you're actually thinking about how these things align in the universe and its energy, it actually is there for a reason. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And we're all a part of this fabric on this in this universe, not just this earth. Sometimes we think about the earth. No, it's the universe that we're a part of. So when you tug and pull here, there's going to be another consequence on the other end of that, some way, somehow. And you got to listen to those gut feelings. You got to listen to those things that are pulling at you, because those are like the universe's way of telling you, don't get played.
Yep. Don't ignore them signs, man.
Can't ignore the signs. You can't go away from it. You know, and what I want to say also, to really just keep it all the way a buck, don't trip when you do get played.
Right.
Because when it happens, you can go wallow and get into a state of absence of mindset. You can go so deep into that trench and that
fuck
chasm.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
And then you want to be on sometimes you want to be on some revenge shit.
Yep.
No. Let the universe do that, because the thing called karma is very real.
Very real.
And if you did nothing wrong, then you can walk on.
Yep.
But if they did something to you, it's going to come back, boo-boo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah, it's going to come back.
So so don't let that get into your spirit. Don't let that get into your vibe. Don't let that get into you. You continue to do what it is you were set out to do, your destiny, your purpose, your provision, and watch everything align with the real vision that you were created for.
Absolutely. Man.
That's good stuff, man.
It's a beautiful way to end the segment.
Yeah, I think that's got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Well, you got to go ahead and shout out the things that are happening in our world. You know what I'm saying? I'll go ahead and start out. I want to shout out a special session for the luxury line. There's a luxury line that sponsors us. We're feeling them. They're doing everything together. We
love them ladies.
Yes, and we got everything for you. You got your lotions and your bath,
your oils,
your soaps, all the stuff that you need, and it's at LUXHURY. That's luxury.com.
You already know. Shout out Day Day's products. Shout out to Duck Bros, you know, www.daydays.com, you know, daydays_products on Instagram, you know, starting to make some headway moving along.
Yes, sir. And y'all know me. Grab some of my merch, links in the bio of my social media Instagram page. And that is at Steph Weezy, at STEFF1_WEEZY. And that's on every other platform. Y'all make sure y'all go follow me, get my subscribers up, share my videos, show that love. And like that, we out.
Stay tuned in.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. We out.